Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aurora. I'm
Oh, not a problem.
so chuffed to have you on here because you're so full of joy and you follow me wherever I am.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's meant to be. And so I guess where I'm going with all these Zooms is just inspiring each other, really, and be inspired by your own divine and unique essence of you. And so what I've come to realize on my own journey is, how we don't always know where we're going, but all of a sudden all the dots, and they call it weaving, you'll get that. So a
Yep.
wise man said about weaving it in, and now I know where I'm going with it. It's about turnstile your life around to a style that suits. And so we've all done that. And we'd keep on doing it and we keep on doing it. And it's that Fibonacci sequence, isn't it? Constantly like, you know,
Like this, like
really,
this
that's it. I picked up on subconsciously and just keep, releasing the layers, come back to ourselves, but not because we're different, and then starting all over again, kind of thing. And so where I'm going with that is like what we did as a child to how that kind of, how can I word it? Because it changes this every single time I come out with it. How when you were a child, do you do the kind, what inspired you as a child? No, that's not right, is it? That's not right. So when you were a child, because there's a few questions, when you were a child, do you do stuff that you did that you did? Can't get my words out. Do you do stuff that you do now that you did as a child? That's it. Put my teeth back in.
I do. And you know what? My little hamster wheel in my brain is going, and I'm like, yep, 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 yep. But I'm not answering it
Get your
because,
words out, Lisa.
because that's one of my things that I don't like to do, is that listening with your answer running, because you kind of already know where it's going. And I have that answer, but it's like, but what if she twists it right at the end there? So maybe I don't have the answer. So let's just see what she has to ask, and then I'll answer. Which is a very good thing. Learning patience, learning to just like step back from a situation, watch what's happening, and then say, oh, this is where I add. Okay. But yes, there are things that I did as a child that I loved, that I still do now, or I do again. And I will get pushback from some of the people that I know who are still a little bit rigid, still a little bit matrixy. They're like, oh, I used to do that when I was a kid. And I'm like, yeah, but my little kid still wants to do it.
Yes. Yeah, you sent me, was it in my group, my new group? You said that, or did you message me? I can't remember, one or the other. Yes, you messaged me.
Okay.
You messaged me, yeah, because I thought the reason why I didn't say too much, because I thought, well, you probably might want to share that. How this just shows how different, well, not how different we are, how alike we are, but how different we are, and the need to be who we really are.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is that now that I'm coming more into myself, knowing who I am and being able to express her, I am finding that when people say things like that to me, I have a very loving answer for them, or I will like tease them about it. Like when they say something, oh, I did that as a child. And I will say, like I said, oh, well, my inner child still wants to do this thing. So, I'm using my adult body to do it. There was a little brief story. I was on a walk with friends, and we bumped into a nice, loving couple, and they were walking their dog, and their dog was a Labradoodle, but you didn't know it because it didn't have the curls, like you would expect on a Labradoodle. I said, oh, so that's like a Labradoodle, bleh, you and me with the words. That's like a Labradoodle that had its hair straightened. And one of the people I was with just looked at the other couple and says, yeah, and we have to go home with her. I said, and aren't they lucky?
Oh, I know.
Because when,
Great to
yeah,
turn
if
it
I'm
around.
saying something to a complete stranger and you're kind of like make fun of it. No, that's not allowed anymore.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's quite nice to kind of cut through that. And I guess that's why we're here, aren't we? To transmute that, turn it into joy. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Or just
Yep.
blatantly ignore it now.
Well, that too. Yeah. Yes. I,
Yeah.
I have I have found that I haven't bought the thing for like when you bite your tongue that protects it, but I'm working on that. Because there are times when people will say things and you just be like, okay. And then you laugh inside because it's like, oh yeah, they don't get it yet. It's okay.
So, I mean, without going into your story on a personal level, even though I know we're good friends and I kind of know that because we're leaving that all behind now, but more to the point of, kind of like what creative things that you did. You do music? What inspired you? Did you do crafts in that when you were younger?
I did crafts when I was a kid. I was actually looking back at a very old photo album. And it was there was one little page. This one of my foster sisters made like the greatest photo album for me of all the events and things that went on while I lived with them. And one of the things was my 9th birthday. And she listed like all the things I got. And I got a couple of different like kits of things to do, and one of my favorite ones was a needlepoint project. So yeah, I mean, I was 9 years old and I was doing that, you know. I can remember even back further, taking 4 huge sheets of paper, taping them together to make a big giant piece of paper and crawling around it, drawing a rainbow. So, I mean, these are things, this is what inspired me as a kid. These are things that still inspire me. I still like all my fabric crafts, sewing, knitting, crocheting, all of that kind of stuff. And it's funny because, you will find other people saying things like, oh yeah, I did that when I was a kid, or my grandmother does that. Well, you know what? I'm kind of in that in-between stage between kid and grandma. So, yeah. And this is
I think we're all encompassing. We're everything. You know what I mean? It's like
absolutely.
that's where I'm going with that, and that's why I'm kind of, doing this, because what I'm finding is lots of us at the moment, and I know you don't have to agree with me, of course, at all, but lots of us basically are like children. We're children in an adult's body until we start, looking at them kind of wounds that we had, and I think that's where we found solace when we
Yeah.
were a little girl, and we might have been going through it as a little girl. We found such solace in that. Do you know
Let
what
me
I
let
mean?
me pick up this thing and keep my hands busy, because when my hands are busy, my mind isn't thinking of this other thing.
That's
Yes.
it. That's
Yes.
it. It brings you back. I'm so glad you said that, Aurora, because I find that not always, but more the majority of the time when I'm doing my art or crocheting or whatever it may be that you want to do in that present moment, it keeps you in that present moment and just like in that playful joy that you had as a child, and just like shutting out everything that actually you don't really need to keep. And I know that's like the greater plan of allowing the thoughts to flow through you, as
Yes.
opposed I as I just interviewed Char earlier, just like a lot of the stuff it's not even ours. It's not even ours. You
Absolutely.
know what I
And
mean?
that's a fun thing too, because with like the emotion code stuff that I do with the muscle testing, I will stand up and I will ask, is this mine? I'm feeling all of these energies coming and going, whatever, and there's sadness and there's this and that. And I will ask, is this mine? If I get a yes, then I work on it. If I get a no, I'm like, I release you. I send you to Saint Germain, the purple flame. I send you to source. I send you wherever. And I ask that that energy be transmuted and sent back out for all to share.
Speaking of Saint Germain, I've got something to show you. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay, I'll wait.
Oh, where are you? I know. I'm sure St. Germain would be very pleased and very happy at the mere thought that I'd done this, because I know you're in my new group now, which means playtime, of course. Oh, hang on. Can you? Oh, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Um,
Maybe if I put it. Ah, you can see it.
oh,
My darling. This, my darling, is St. Germain art. It's best. What? I can transmute anything you ask me to do. I know, I couldn't resist. I did an angel. I
I
did
love it.
Superman. I think I might work my way through it. I think I might do an archangel, Michael, Michael and an archangel Raphael.
You're gonna have to do an archangel puppet show.
Do you know? Yeah. Oh, I know. I've got enough on at the moment, though. I've got
Mhm.
anyway. It's not
I'm
about me.
sure.
It's not about me really, but So I think where I'm going with that is like, you know, how what it is that you enjoy doing that you did as a child and how that's kind of shaped you. Do you know
Hmm.
what I mean? And how it's probably on a personal level, but we are speaking our truth now. I mean, you don't have to answer, of course, but how that assists you in your life now with everything going on to shut it out. I mean, I know you said like keeps you in present moment and stuff.
Hmm. Um, the things that I make that I share with others, that also, because the energy of me, the love that's in me goes into everything I make and do. So that when I share that with somebody else, they have a little piece of me. So I'm basically putting my little sparks out there, my planting my seeds, placing my sparks out there, sharing my light, that kind of thing. Um, yeah, there's been instances when I'm out and about and somebody just kind of looks at me like I know you or whatever, and I might strike up a conversation and we get to talking about just random things that are very energetic and very like energetic, poetic, all kinds of neat stuff. I'm also when I'm out and about and there's kids there, it's like we just like it's like oh, what was that? There was the dog in that cartoon where he was like squirrel. And that's me and kids. We just find each other's in stores and things like that. Um, yeah, I was walking through a grocery store carrying a bunch of things. I dropped something. This small child comes over, picks it up, and hands it back to me. And I'm like, well, thank you, my friend. And I looked at the dad and I'm just like, that was wonderful, you know? And he's just like, yeah. So
I
it's like kids
know,
get it. They're just like, yeah, they're so pure and they're just so perfect. And I just love them.
but
So
that's because you're like a Belisha beacon, Aurora. And I've often said that. You're the Aurora Borealis in a physical vessel.
it's me.
I got that ages ago. Like you're the Aurora Borealis in a physical vessel. I don't know why, but it just keeps coming that. And then look what you're wearing today. It's like you're full of the colours of the world.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the bright colours that are coming in as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's just I just I love being out in nature. I love that kind of stuff. I'm really, really grateful where I live right now. Right across the way are a bunch of blackberry bushes. I can remember being maybe 7 years old, and this place that we lived, it was a giant. It was the house was over 200 years old back in the day, so it's even older now. There were doors that opened and closed, and I would just say hi to whoever was opening and closing the doors. But so that was fun. But yeah, we had huge blackberry bushes out back, and I would go and I would pick them. I would bring them in for the whole family. So now I get to go pick the berries again. And one other place that I lived not too long ago had the same blackberry bushes. So that's kind of a theme of how we can fend for ourselves, protect ourselves and our bodies and things by finding things in nature that are good for us instead of going to the store and buying it in a little plastic container and there's like stuff in it. But yeah,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
another aspect of me that I love, that I like to share with others. So
Yeah, because you did your own little was it last year or year before you did like your own little tomato? I think it was year before you did your own little tomatoes and that, didn't you? And your little
yep,
blender.
yep. I'm growing a few things this year, not a lot. Mostly herbs, sugar snap peas. I just go out there and as soon as they're like ripe enough, I just pick them up and eat them right there. So that's awesome. I have some strawberries going. Yeah, just a few little things because I live in a condo, so I have like my front deck and my back deck, and that's it.
Yeah,
And what needs sun and doesn't need sun and this, that, and the other. It's a lot to think about. So just a few little things that are keeping me happy watching things grow.
yeah.
That's a big part of my inner child. I can remember, I think it was
Oh,
first grade where we had like a little milk cart and we filled it with dirt and we planted something in there and we watched it grow like the whole semester of class. That still fascinates me, just watching things come
oh,
up from the soil.
it does. And it's funny when you say that because I think how often do we actually stand in the mirror and see how much we grow?
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
that come from inside, but we are. And again, I'm just getting this so much, and it's repetitive, and it is like, it's about growing. And probably
yep.
because my universe has been kicking my backside quite a bit over the past few months. Do you know what I mean? And I'm here to grow. We're here to grow. Yeah. And this is me growing doing this because, like, you know, it's putting yourself in an uncomfortable position. And what I've come to realize now is you're not comfortable. And the plant's not comfortable. If you look at a plant, it don't go, alrighty then, I'm going to stay here. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, I'm going to stay here. It's not happening. Do you know what I mean? And it
Yeah.
keeps on growing, it gets through that mud and the icky bit, which I usually find that the mud is like representation of the dark night of the soul.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And
And there's layers of it. It's not like a one and
yeah,
done
oh yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah, because you put the seed in quite deep, don't you? And it takes
Mhm.
a while, inch by inch by inch by inch. Probably grows about 2 inches underground, three, probably more than that with the roots. Before
Right.
it then starts popping up, and you're like that every day, aren't you? Oh, look at that! But do we do that to ourselves? It's actually a really good analogy. When
Mhm.
kind of spin it around, look in the mirror every day and go, "Am I growing?" Or like at night, how did I do today?
That's really good. I like that. I like the nighttime version. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, how did I do today? Maybe even
You-
draw a plant on the mirror or something. How did I do today? Or I am enough, and how did I do today?
Ooh.
Just an
Okay.
idea. Just an
I can see
idea.
that.
I just come
I
up with these things. But
and go ahead.
no, go on.
That's another fun thing of kind of living by myself is that I do get to do stuff like that. Like if I wanted to, draw a plant on my mirror, nobody's going to stop me. And nobody's going to
Yeah,
say, why is it here? It's in my way, yada, yada, yada.
yeah,
So, yeah, because we do have that aspect of ourselves that was stunted when we were children. Like we had this wonderful thing we wanted to do, and somebody was like, yeah, that's great, but I need you to do this now.
yeah.
Like one of my foster mothers used to say to me, well, she would come in my room, I'd be reading a book on my bed. Now, if it wasn't a book that was for school, if it was just something I was enjoying, well, since you're not doing anything, I need you to do such and such. I'm like, I'm doing something,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So that was one of the things of, having been stunted by different scenarios in life that now all grown up, because I remember as a child thinking, I can't wait till I'm an adult and I can do whatever I want. And then it was like, you got to be an adult. It's like, yeah, find the time. But it's like, you know what? We actually kind of do get to do that now. We get to honor that inner child's idea of when I'm an adult, I can do whatever I want.
I just
But,
saw something go past the screen then. Have you got a window opposite you?
yeah, there's a window. Oh, that was a truck, probably the
Ah, I
reflection.
was gonna
Yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah. I actually have a friend who, like, when we're on video chats, she'll be like, yeah, an orb just flew by you. And I'm like, okay.
yeah.
One day she scared me. She's like, yeah, I just watched something gray come down, almost touch your head, and then go back up. And I'm like, oh, lovely. But but I don't know. Some people see things, some people don't, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it. Always at the right time. Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely see because we're like so multidimensional. Yeah. So your joy, like I always see you as a like fairy realm as well. And I think that's where the joy really kind of comes from, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The
I got one of my favorite things at a tag sale not too long ago. It's a plaque that sits outside my house and it says, and it's a fairy doing a split, and it says, don't piss off the fairies.
No, no.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I know. So what I wanted to ask you is like, kind of like again, I said to Sharon, I'm kind of stepping away from saying spiritual now because I find it might seem off-putting and for people who are newly, the spark, the light bulb's gone on, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Soul's decided, I've been knocking on your head enough. It's time to kind of like the light bulb moment
Yep.
to like kind of the consciousness, coming more into fruition, so to speak. Is
Mm-hmm.
like I can't remember what I'm gonna say. And I did this when I did with Shara as well. Oh, that's it. Like kind of do you feel that did you know as a child that you always were quite intuitive? Did you have a moment when you were a child that you knew that you was intuitive? Do you know what?
Um, I suppose the first time I really realized that there was something other than us you know, like working with us and stuff. Um, I'm trying to think of like the first time. Mostly out in nature, I find I feel like connection to a lot of different things, like to the trees, to the animals. Um, I mean, I had a situation once where I basically collected a whole mess of earthworms and I put them in my lunchbox and I was going to take them to school for show and tell. And then the bus driver made me get rid of my worms when I went to get on the bus because somebody told on me, which was not fun. But I mean, I would collect things and put them in a terrarium, like woolly bear caterpillars, because I was in love with them. So all of these fun things. When I was a kid, this is
No,
who
I
I
get it.
communicated with,
Totally get
you
it.
know? They were me, and I would put like grass in there for them to eat, and I would put a stick in case they wanted to climb out, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they were my friends
Yeah.
growing up.
I know.
Um, Most of the brothers and sisters I had were older than me. So, I mean, I could sort of kind of, and, you know, they would tease me a little bit because I was the little one and I wasn't allowed to do what they were allowed to do. And that's a theme that comes up now too, is allowed,
Allowed.
allowed. To. Really?
No,
Okay.
yeah.
We're
No,
allowed.
I
We're
know.
allowed
If
now.
someone
Yeah.
said, "Oh, I'm gonna allow you to do this," I'll be like, "I'm doing it anyway."
It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's
But yeah, I think that's when I first knew that there was something other than me that was kind of not in the physical, but you know, I could have access to it, that kind of stuff. There were times with people where I kind of, oh, 3 times in my life, there have been people that I have met that they made the hair on the back of my neck stand on end, and I've never been wrong about it. Those are not my people.
no.
So yeah, so there's intuition. Oh, my favorite story about connection to somebody other than me that kind of guides and helps. I was at work one day, I pulled into the parking lot and it was raining, and I pulled into my normal spot and I got, you need to park closer to the building. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I put the car, I turned the car off and I heard, no, really, you need to park closer to the building. And I'm like, okay. So I turn the car back on, I move my car, go in, I'm doing my whatever I'm doing throughout the day, go out at lunchtime. A tree had fallen where my car would have been parked.
Wow.
So yeah, there's help.
Yeah, it's funny
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
No, I don't mean that was funny, but I mean it is.
No, well, it is now, but
Yeah, that's what I mean, it's funny after, isn't it? Yeah, I had that in a different time space where, you know, a piece of the building, it was so stormy that a piece of the building came down, and it literally was within seconds that I'd crossed the road. I mean,
wow.
we did get warnings the fact that, you know, it was stormy, but you know, me being me, I was just like, alrighty then, I'm gonna go out anyway.
I was watching a storm happen, like out on my back deck. Well, like at the glass door, not on the deck, because I was watching the storm happen and things were whipping around and what. And there was this one tree that looked like it was about to go. And I just basically closed my eyes when, with everything in me, I connected to whomever needed to hear this at that time, because there's our building and then maybe 100 yards that way, there's another building and it's downhill. And I'm like, if this tree falls down the hill, it's going to crush a bunch of stuff. With everything in me, I connected to whoever was listening and I said, can you please make this tree, if it's going to fall, can you please make it fall horizontal between these two things? And don't you know it did?
The power of how we speak. The
And
power
thank
of
you
how
and thank you. Yeah, yeah.
power of how we speak, and we're becoming, as I was saying to Shah and Ruby, we're becoming very, very powerful beings, and it's quite imperative, you know. I'm getting, even though it doesn't seem that way being on here, but called more to speak less. Or and certainly my universe has been showing me words, and you know, it's almost like splitting the words up and going, hey up, awake. Like, awake is awake when someone's died.
Wow. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You know, it's even like things like I've just been doing some forms and stuff for something that I'm gonna, you know, share at some point soon. But I was like, I was walking downstairs and I was like, I've got to do this because I've got a deadline. I'm like, oh, cancel, clear and delete. I was like, deadline. You're basically sinking your own. So every time you're putting things out there, if you're like in the old bit still and not coming to the new awareness, it's
Mhm.
like you're actually, this is about the English language and the way that it's been chosen, so that everything that we say, we kind of unmanifest in our lives rather than manifesting it. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Oh, I got one the other day. Innocence, inner sense.
Yeah. Incense.
So
I know
inner sense. Yeah.
that.
Your innocence, like your childlike innocence is your inner sense.
Yeah. Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I know there's so many, and I think it's quite interesting to go. I'm just what you want to say. Go down that route. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What else did I say? Just lots of things like, I mean, I've known this for a while now. It's tried to say, that's why I try not to say morning, because you're morning before you've had your morning.
Right?
So I've started saying early day or good day because it's like God, good day.
I like grand rising.
Yeah, I don't like using that mainly because I like to be unique and different, and I felt like everyone else was saying it. Just
Ah, gotcha.
that's just my little titty self.
Mhm.
Yeah, I quite like saying that. And just like every word's at the moment. And I think maybe that's maybe why we're connecting, for us to bring that together.
Mhm.
To
Yep.
together. So I don't say together, it's together.
Yes.
Together. Yeah, yeah. I know there's so many though. So
Yeah,
many.
there is. Oh, that needs to be a book. Um,
Absolutely,
of
absolutely.
just all the words, breaking them down and saying like it meant this back in the day, and now if we change that, if we shift it around a little bit, it can be this instead. Um, because I did write a tiny little poem, and I'm not going to remember the exact words of it, but basically, it was, we can shift a lot of things in the world if we just remove the apostrophe T. Can't becomes can, won't becomes one. And now my little rant is done.
Love that. Yes. Share with us more about your beautiful poetry.
Oh, that's
If you
another
want,
thing. Intuition is a big part of that.
I know,
Um,
I know.
I will get an idea and I will sit down to start to write something, and I'll get like the first couple of lines, and then it's kind of like something happens. I don't know exactly what. I mean, I guess you could call it channeling, but I don't know because I don't feel it or think it really. It's just like, but then 20 minutes later, there's this whole page of, wow, that's pretty darn good. And yeah, so a lot of the poems, I say they don't come to me, I say they come through me, because I really feel that it's definitely a gift. But and I love words, but I like putting them in an order that it makes sense to me, and hopefully it will make sense to others. Um, I mean, there's times when I start writing a poem and I pluck a word out of the ether,
Yeah.
and then I have to look it up to see if it actually means what I wanted it to mean. And 9 times out of 10, it does exactly. So I'm like, okay, there's something to this. Somebody's speaking through me. So this is
You're
cool.
you're you're you.
Yeah, my higher self, my ascended
Yeah.
whatever, because technically we all are ascended masters. A part of it is.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Just take
yeah. And that's where a lot of the art comes from, is that part of us that has been so many times. With this physicality on this plane right now is minuscule compared to the whole totality of what each of us are. So
Yeah, totally. It's like I got we're Top Gun. We're Top Gun. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I know it wasn't the best rendition, but but yeah, we're like Top Gun, aren't we? The best of the best. Well, I don't think it's best of the best. I'm sure that the rest of the, galactics or, other realms might be like, no, 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 we weren't daft enough to go down there. What?
Yeah, yeah, no, they fly by and close the windows. We know they do. I was like, just roll up the window. Don't look. That's Earth over there. Don't
Yeah,
look
I
over
know.
there.
Similar, like Jason and the Argonauts. I was on about this a bit earlier, and I was like, it's almost like, and that and oh, what else was I watched? Oh, ages ago. One of my favorite films, and in fact, actually, I came to realize all my favorite films were adventure films. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jason
yeah.
and the Argonauts and all that magic, and I think it is. I think it's like the adventure, the magic. It's everything all
Mhm,
encompassed in it.
mhm.
And it's like, do you remember when the gods were above and like doing the chess moves and that? I think it's chess moves for Jason and the Argonauts. What shall we throw in his way now? And it kind of feels like that sometimes. And I'm like, but you might be having a barrel of laughs up there, giving me all these lessons, even though it's myself, of course. But
Yeah.
it just makes me feel better. Like, excuse me, I think enough's enough now.
Yeah.
know what I mean? I don't know why I'm looking up. No point looking up.
If that which doesn't kill me makes me stronger, I think I'm good for now. Thanks. Good for now. Let me process this. When
No,
you eat something, you have to digest it. Do you
no.
mind? I just ate all that. Do you mind if I digest it now?
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's so funny. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, so what have you been making recently? Oh,
Let's
you
see.
made that necklace, didn't you? I've seen them. They're really good. I don't know how you managed to do that.
A friend of mine bought me one and sent it to me. And she said, "You think you can make these?" And I'm like, "I'm sure I can. Now I just got to figure out what the parts are called and order them." So I did, and I ordered the parts. And the one that she gave me, the little metal parts, um, and I'm gonna forget what they're called anyway, but I have it saved in my Amazon account. But the little metal parts, they come straight, or the ones that I found on Fire Mountain Gems. I love this place. I will put a nod to Fire Mountain Gems out there. It's a place where you can order all kinds of like stones, crystals,
Write
jewelry
that
findings,
down. Fire
everything.
Mountain. Fire Mountain.
Fire Mountain Gems.
Because it's
Yeah,
hard to
amazing
buy.
stuff.
Sorry, it's hard to come by like shops that have got like real crystals. There's so many fakes out there, and
Oh
even
yeah.
I've got a couple of
Yeah,
fakes.
you have to, as you're scrolling through, you have to make sure that it says natural, not dyed or man-made or whatever, but just make sure that it says natural, and it will be natural stones.
Yeah,
So yeah, there's that, and all kinds of beads, any kind of bead you could possibly want. They have all the different findings like closures and things like that. Um, threads to put things together, wire they have. Yeah, really, really cool stuff. Very nice quality too.
yeah,
So I ordered them from them. I ordered the ones that look like they're kind of twisted. And that's the one that I made that necklace out of. So it's got like a shimmer to the rods of
yeah,
it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So that's a crystal inside.
That is no, that well, it's artificial. That is pink tiger eye, and pink tiger eye is not natural. But
Ah,
I like that. But I do
yeah,
and that's the thing, you can change out whatever crystal's in there. There's a bead, it's like a cinch bead. You just slide that up, open the thing up, change out your crystal and push it back down and you're good to go.
I like that.
Yeah.
I know. So you're so talented, though.
Let me
Yeah,
just grab
cool.
a second because they actually did change out the crystal and this
I like that. Is that a blue appetit?
it's this is actually chrysocolla.
Oh, is it Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
Well, it looks a bit like a blue appetit from here.
Yeah, but
It looks a bit.
it's a little bit darker than the
That's
appetite.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
It looks almost
yeah,
like an egg, doesn't it?
yeah. But it does look like an egg, like a little dragon's egg.
I
But
like
you can see that the rods they look like they're a little twisted instead of just straight. So
Yeah,
they
I
have
like
more
it.
of a shimmer to them as it moves, which I like.
I love
Yeah,
that. I think you're onto something with that.
there we go. There we go. So
I
now,
think you
now
are.
of course, we have to put it on. But
I like it. Proper
yeah.
like it. I know I don't really wear mine now. I don't know why. I have to get them out.
This is me and lobster claws. We have a
I
love-hate
know,
relationship.
they're so tiny, aren't they?
There we go. There you go. And you can't really even see it with all the bright colors, but that's okay. But I know I have it on. So that's good.
So it'd be quite nice to listen to some of your poetry at some point. So I don't know whether you want to. I don't want to put you on the spot. We could do it next time if you want.
I could grab something. I'll try and find some. I mean, I have like a longer one, but here, let's see what I can find. Oh, I'm reading this one.
Oh, wow. I love it. And your poetry is amazing.
I am creative. I am love. I am a starseed sent from above. I came here with others in hopes we could seal the rift in our memories that won't let us feel our oneness, our true gifts, what we each have to offer. When we put these together, it will fill every coffer. We are brothers and sisters. We are soul family. We need not feel separate. We need to break free from the twisted agenda that harnessed our minds and broke the connections with beings of all kinds. Reaching out now with honest affection, our mission is one of healing connection. So open your hearts, let your soul family in. You'll see healing starts. You'll feel it within. As we reunite, have adventurous flings, please do remember just a few things. We came here to love. We came here to play. We came to bring peace, and now it can stay.
Wow.
I told you somebody talks through me.
Amazing, but it's bob on that. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. That is bob on. That needs to be like all over the place, that right now. Have you thought about, putting them in like, like a poetry book?
I am kind of trying to figure out if I need to like have a heading of, because I'm like, and then here's the thing, because I'm always like, and this is the Capricorn in me who always wants to like organize everything and put things in its place and whatnot, and then I can't find anything. And when everything's all over the place, it's like, I remember I saw that under that notebook over there, and so it's like,
I know, I'm with you. I can lose things in the same place and I've not even moved. I'm like, what's that all about?
right. And can we just have a moment of silence for all of the things we've bought at craft stores that haven't even gotten out of the bag yet? But but as far as getting my poetry into a book, I suppose I could just like put it all together and self-publish it somehow. It kind of just hasn't happened yet. And actually, Obi, our beloved brother Obi, has put out there that he's going to be sending out healing for our inner abandonment wound. And I gave permission on that because I'm like, oh yes, please. Oh yes, please.
I know.
His message of got it. Okay. So yeah, we were talking about Obi and his wanting to send healing for people who have that abandonment issue thing. Which I think is wonderful, because I think that so many of us, the blockages that we have or feel inside are from that. We are afraid sometimes to put ourselves out there for fear of abandonment or, fear of being misunderstood, that kind of thing. So having somebody help with clearing that from us is, I think, a very wonderful gift to give to someone. And then not to say that we can't do it for ourselves, but it's really nice when somebody who's got basically the clout that he's got, to be able to help us with that. I just love that.
Yeah, I like that. I know. I think one of the biggest things that I've been combating is the F word, as I call it. And I think it's all interconnected with abandonment. There's so many layers to it. And really, when you actually feel into fear, so the fear and excitement feel the same. And it's differentiate what's what. Do you know what I mean? I got a bit nervous earlier when I was about to talk to Shah. And I know it comes from my universe showed me it was like from a different time, space, and continuum where, probably didn't get the best treatment from, a male form, so to speak. That's not, you know, saying all males are that way inclined, but you know, and I got a bit nervous, even though I dealt with so many layers of that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
actually, do you know what, when you think he's only me. He's me. Because we're all
Mm-hmm.
fractals, aren't we? So he's only
Yeah.
me. So and when I didn't do it for long, and I just felt into it. I was like, oh, that's okay. Just ask for a bit of, you know, assistance and that, and it just like I have this calm all over me. So I'm really grateful for that. Thank you. Yeah. And
I was just
you know what?
with
Lovely. Shad's lovely. It's just another version of me. And when you look at, and I think that's where we need to be like, well, not, I'm not speaking to everyone, but certainly on my journey, it's to release that identity of being in this vessel and knowing when we're stripped bare naked, actually, that we're just, we're not just, because that sounds less than, but we're energy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? We're energy, and just view it that
And
way.
yeah, as you were talking about Shah and being nervous about talking to him, what I got coming through was, and you basically said it, because we are all aspects of that one. There's a lot of people talking about wanting to reclaim their gifts and talents from wherever they think they left them throughout time and space. But isn't that what we're doing with each other when we have these conversations?
That's why
Because something that I do that you don't do, or you do that I don't do, or whatever. And when we talk about them, it's like that memory just kind of, and a
well,
little pieces start popping in and fitting places.
I mean, I've already got a download of you already being Aurora, part of the Aurora, oh gosh, the Aurora Star Nation. Oh, I've got goosebumps.
Ooh, I'm part of a Star Nation. I love it.
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say that, actually. Yeah,
That's okay. That's okay.
and not so long back.
It works in here, so it must be right.
I've got goosebumps, proper goosebumps, proper Aurora Star. Oh, I've got goosebumps.
I get like full on body tingles when a truth is mentioned. So it's like, yeah, yeah. I'll be that. I'll be that. I'm not exactly sure how, but that's okay. Yes.
That's what I
Because
mean.
that's what happens a lot when there's something that somebody asks me, can you do such and such? And it's something that I'm supposed to do. Somebody in me says, yeah, I can do that. And then the other part of me goes, now how am I going to do that? Prime example, I had somebody came to me, asked me if I could make a 4-foot round giant pizza for a sign for his friend's pizza place. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And I'm like, okay, how am I doing that? I got a 4x8 sheet of plywood. I used like packing paper from packages that I had. I put them around, crumpled them up, put them around as the crust. Painted the whole thing like with a sauce on the inside. Put other lumps of paper, and then put exterior caulk for the cheese. Like foam things. I made peppers and mushrooms and what, and I put it all on there. It was literally a 4-foot round giant pizza on a 4x8 sheet of plywood with the wording and the phone number and this, that, and the other. I said, now it's up to you to spray it with a clear coat, because I don't do that. But it hung on that building for like, I don't know, 3 years until the guy sold the pizza place. But yeah, so I made a giant pizza. Why? Because somebody asked me if I could.
What did it say? Never say no. It's always a yes.
Yeah. Yep. It's yes, and you'll figure out the rest of it.
That's it. That's what I'm not trying, because there's no trying, teaching myself at the moment. It's always a yes.
Mhm.
It's always a yes. Thank you for the reminder, universe, as well today. It's
Absolutely.
always a yes. I know.
Mhm.
I know, but I know I've worked with you in a different time, space, and continue. And I've just had something shown me already where we worked together in a different time, space. And I know I've worked with Mike in a different, probably quite a few lifetimes actually. And it's hardly surprising that we're making these connections right now with everyone
Yep.
for the like grand finale. Apparently, you know, I know one of my missions has been to bring joy into it.
Absolutely.
And it's, you know, we come together, and I know we've not spoke for a while because we've both been doing our inner work, and that's okay. We don't need to explain ourselves because we know on a deeper level that, you know, we're doing our inner work, and that's paramount, because that is love, isn't it?
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's nice that, you know, we can come together and bring that joy upon the planet. It'd be quite nice actually to do some we're trying to see if we can get us doing some kind of play days and stuff like that. It'd be really nice to actually see if we can do something online. I don't know if you're friends with Kate Lumley.
Um, I don't know either. I know I see all of her stuff, so I guess I must be because I see all her stuff. So
She actually does the sock puppets. And I know it's funny because we're so in tune, and I know I came up with that. And then I was like, because I didn't do it straight away, I was like, that's why you don't procrastinate. Do you know what I mean? But
yep.
it really doesn't matter because I was still a bit, in my competitive streak then, and realised actually this is why we're here. Do you know what I mean? But also don't procrastinate. Do you know what I mean? Get
Yeah.
And more recently I have been doing that, just getting on with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
I have a notebook sitting here. Well, it's actually over there now because I had to move it for the cat. He needs to be in his cat cave. So I have a notebook now where I'm just like, as things come up, I'm writing them down and like almost making like a checklist of things that I have wanted to do.
yeah,
So that when I have the time or I have the inclination to do it, I just go and look at my list and say, oh, that I have time for today, you know?
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
used to have an ideas book, but you know what it's like when you're creating, it's like I've got so many ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So many ideas.
I end up having to put like my chores and stuff that I really need to do on my list because otherwise I will get caught up doing something. I've had days where I get caught up making something or whatever, and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm like, did I eat?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I know. I don't know about you, it seems like time's speeding up even though there's no time either.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
it's going by so quickly. So what are you on with
Yeah.
at the moment?
What am I on with at the moment? Actually, I'm kind of in between things. I mean, I found some yarn that I forgot about in the garage, so I just made like a little swatch. And I'm using this on my lap. So when I have my computer and I want it on my lap, because it's either going to be kind of warm or kind of cold, the computer, depending on how long it's been on. So I don't really want it on my lap feeling like that. So that's just a little something. So little sample things. I'm doing a little bit more reading lately. I did have a death in my family. My godmother passed.
Oh, I'm so
So thank you. So I ended up getting a book and it's called The Pagan Book of Living and Dying. So it's got like a lot of information on to help me kind of process some of the stuff that I'm going through. I have been on a streak of losing mother figures. And I believe that part of that is the mother wound that I may not have completely kind of cleared and whatnot.
yeah,
That is what happens a lot with kids who have grown up in foster care is that they've had multiple families. So as we get older, so do all the people that we've lived with and whatnot. So yeah, so I've lost a number of mother figures. Like my best friend's mother passed away last year. So yeah, it's interesting. So that's a lot of the work that I've been having to do on me. Um so yeah, I've been kind of art has been kind of like on the back burner while I'm doing some processing and stuff. But I just that same notebook that I'm writing all the things that I want to do is my notebook where all of my crochet patterns are. So I want to like type them up, print them out, and put a notebook together so I have those handy. Um yeah, just basically more organizing of things now so that I have things at the ready when I want to do a thing. I'm also thinking of packing up like kits of projects because I'm getting called to go out and show people how to do things.
exactly. We are. I'm so
Yeah,
glad you said that. I'm so glad
yeah,
you said that. That's what I've been getting exactly the same. To do like a
yeah,
flat pack and bring together, because by coming together you're sharing your heart vibration, your codes with people, and also bringing communities together on the ground, because it's all right doing
yes.
it online, but
Mhm.
about yeah, I've just got this real feeling within my heart that people need connection again.
Yeah, we need to actually meet up in person and do things.
Yeah,
And since I like kids so much, I have this one endeavor that I'm trying to wrap my brain in around how it happens. Because I've been given the offer of a space. Okay. Monday mornings, I go to my chiropractor, and then I go next door where there's this wonderful little breakfast place called Eggs and Company. Hi, Yanni. Just in case he sees this. But so there's this wonderful breakfast place, and I go there every Monday morning, and I call it Breakfast and a Show because it's awesome. It's kind of like the show Cheers, where everybody knows everybody. And even if you don't, strangers that come in, we start up conversations, and it's just a wonderful time. Now, I've met his grandson who likes to do arts and crafts too. We actually we decorated his front window of his restaurant for Christmas with different ornaments and things. And the little one helped me with that. So Yanni said to me that he would let me use part of the dining room that's next door. I mean, it's all one area, but it's kind of like walled off. He would let me use the dining room if I wanted to do like an art class with kids.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so now I have to wrap my brain around what is the project, how many people can we have there, logically. Like, and I also want to find out when his grandson is available, because I want him to be part of it, because he was just amazing and putting things together that I wouldn't have thought of. And I love to watch kids just play because they are intuitive.
Yeah.
They'll take the supplies and you're like, okay, here's the project we're doing. And I put this together and this together and this together. And he takes 5 of these things and does this completely other thing. And I'm like, wow.
I know. I know. I know. Yeah.
It's
So,
like, all right, let's do your thing, because your thing is
know.
better.
I know. I know. I found that recently when I've been doing the wonder sticks and sock puppets like within the community. So I've done about 3 now. And
Okay.
and it's quite interesting. The first one, young lad who was probably about, I think, 12, 13, just started using the glue gun. You don't even need to say be careful about the glue gun because they already know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's hot. Don't touch that. That
Oh,
hurt. Yeah.
yeah, it's not. No, no, they know what they're doing. They actually
Hmm.
know what they're doing more than I do, to be honest. And he did this like stick, and it looked like it actually reminded me of the cheese stick adverts and that from ages ago, and it looked really good. And I
Okay.
just like the way that they put it's so amazing to see a child's mind and that imaginative play.
Hmm.
I think totally childlike.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I've been getting that more and more. Maybe that's why we're come together again, Aurora. But I always knew that because you were in my
Mhm.
group doing lovely demonstrations, and then it got totally wiped out, didn't it?
Yeah.
It got totally wiped out, and you must
Yeah.
have been like, "I'm doing this every week. Where is she?" Because I disappeared for ages.
Uh-huh.
I
Yep.
did. I did not know how to sort it out, and I'm like, "What's going on here?" Then it was like a good
I
few
mean,
months.
yeah, that kind of should have been my impetus to start doing one of my own on my own page, but um, I do actually have 2 pages. I have mine where it's me, and then I have that one that I call Terra Epiphany, which is actually like that's the name I came up for my website, Terra for Earth, Epiphany, Terra Epiphany, like for the epiphany of like the awakening of, coming into all of these things. And I haven't done a lot with my website, I'll be honest. I put some of my art on there, I put some of my poems on there, and then I put offering emotion code sessions. I've heard nothing. So yeah, I'm not one of those people who's going to be out there like every week saying, I do this and I do this and I do this and don't you want to come do this? But I put the thing out there and then I give out a card or whatever. But I have a Facebook page called Terra Epiphany, which I could start doing my little videos again. And maybe every once in a while just reading a poem out loud or something like that, or something. I should be doing should.
There's no
Don't should
show.
on
There's no
don't should
show.
on me.
There's no
Okay.
show.
I believe that I am meant to do these things. There,
Yeah,
that's better.
yeah.
Yay.
Oh, it's all divine timing as well, darling, as well.
Yes.
But
And again, when some of the blockages are removed, Jen McCarty had come out with a really nice version of the Ganesh chant. And every once in a while, I will sit with my little Ganesh statue and I'll light a candle and I will hum that chant and sing and whatever. And yeah, it ends up making me feel like I'm removing blockages, which is nice.
Yeah.
Because yeah, there's a lot of those things in us and we don't know exactly where they are and where they're stuck and whatnot. So, I ask and then I see and then I remove them and whatever I got to do. But this is work.
Do you know what? I tell you what came up for me the other day. I have no idea why, but something to do with teeth at the moment. And I was thinking, like, what you was teaching me, and you kind of assisted me on something, didn't you? Not so long back, probably about a year ago. And do you remember? And you said something about teeth. And I used to be. I hope you don't mind me saying this. You were a dental nurse, weren't you?
Dental assistant, yeah. Mhm.
Dental assistant.
Yep.
One. And
Yeah. 30 years, yes.
yeah, so you're quite knowledgeable about teeth, and I think someone was telling me that you've got, I already know this, but I just, I kind of going about around the houses, I may as well just come out with it as well. So you've got some of your own, excuse the pun, about wisdom teeth, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you like
They pulled all my wisdom teeth, though. They pulled them all.
You know why they do that? I came across something the other day because they know that the wisdom's within them.
Yeah, yeah, to remove our wisdom. Yes, yes. The same reason why they put chlorine and fluoride in the drinking water. Yes, yes.
Wow.
So to calcify the pineal gland, which you can undo.
Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
You did something with me about, I don't know if you did it with me, actually, but you said that you can ask your teeth. Am I reading this wrong?
I don't know.
I thought you said you could ask your teeth and it'll tell you how far back down your ancestral lineage. I swear you said that.
Um,
Really good.
I can ask questions on where something is trapped,
Yeah.
and it could be an inherited trapped emotion. That could be part of what you're thinking. If you have an inherited trapped emotion, I can go back and find out how long ago it got trapped, like what generation it got trapped.
Yeah.
Like I've done it myself where I removed 209 generations of shame. Now, a generation being about 25 and a half years on average, 209 of those is a whole hell of a lot of shame to be carrying around.
In it.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
what we're releasing. That's why we're here, aren't we? To release all that
Yeah.
shit.
And shame is the heaviest, densest emotion.
Yeah.
So this is why this is a lot of, depression and things like that. Because you're carrying around all that weight, all that shame, all that, and who did it and why did it happen? My favorite thing when I do ask these questions, when I do a session for somebody and I ask these questions, when I get to the point where we find out how far back it goes and we're like, and that's it, that's where it started. I will ask, is everybody here that needs to be here over this clearing? And if I get a no, I'm like, okay, I can wait and I'll go get a drink of water or whatever, and I'll walk around and do what I'm doing. And then I come back and I ask, now, is everybody here for this clearing that needs to be here? And I get a yes. And a lot of times, and it's happening now, a lot of times I will get like a tingle that shoots up my leg.
Wow.
It's like I feel like they're absolutely here letting this happen. I mean, as I'm going along and I'm asking, does it go back more than 10 generations? Does it go back more than 20 generations? And I keep going and going and going. And once it gets like over 150 generations, I just start crying. Because I'm like, I'm feeling all of how heavy that was, how hard that was to carry, and what they must have gone through all those years. So that's it's really neat work, and I do love doing it. It's just I'm not going to put it out there like as an advertisement that I do this thing, because I don't want it to be commercialized,
Yeah.
because it's a thing from me. It's a part of me that's doing this with this one other person. I don't want to be up there in front of a group doing it either, and for the most part, because I had surgery on my back years ago. So I'm still a little bit crooked, and they say that if you're not like adjust well adjusted, But if you have like, you know, something frozen or whatever in your body that it's harder to do this work on somebody. So I like doing the work by proxy because then I can muscle test on myself and
Yeah,
I get very strong responses. So it's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. It
Yeah.
it just goes to show though how we've all got our own unique gifts, and that's why we're here right now, aren't we? It's like, so what I get, I don't know if you get this, but when someone, not someone, a beautiful soul like yourself shares these, what's happening to me at the moment, it's almost like my radar goes and it's like I can zone in and go, I can do that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Are you getting the same? Like, I can do that. It's almost like my brain's turned into this like X-ray vision, and I have done it before, but I did it a while ago
Mm-hmm.
to another soul and kind of brought them out, brought them back from, conscious, like being out of conscious, but not really. When you think about it, they're probably in a better realm at that point. And it just shows my universe, because I was in a situation, as you know, from a different time, space, and continuum. I was desperate to, that fix it, heal them, and all of that. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I did to a degree, but my universe showed me it's almost like we've got X-ray vision, and you can zone in on it and assist in. You can actually turn a whole liver from being what would deem not a very good look to
Mm-hmm.
being the pink, beautiful pinkish color again.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I know. It's amazing how we
The healing
repair.
energy, yes. Yes, we can shift the energy of something. So if the same things, if you can make yourself sick, of course you can make yourself well. Of course.
You talk it into fruition.
Mm-hmm.
When people say, I've stopped saying mental health now because I think you're just making yourself that way inclined.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that's something I'm clamping down on at the moment is, speaking at a higher, and it does come with conscious speaking at a higher consciousness. I am
Yeah.
wealthy. I don't even say healthy because it's got hell in it. I am wealthy. I am abundant. We're already abundant because our hearts are abundant.
Yes.
You know what I mean? On a higher level, we don't need anything.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you're a bit further down, on conscious level, you think that you need it and you don't. But, we get everything we need at the right time. Yeah,
Yep. At the right time, from the right people, in the right situation. Yeah.
that's it. And I'm at the moment, I'm like, I'm doing all these different things and stuff because I'm growing, actually. Do you know what I mean? But I also getting off my universe that, I need to kind of rest a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
We're in
Yes.
a resting kind of period. I'm like, there's only so much I can sit on my aspidistris and do nothing. But and then I get, well, actually doing nothing is doing everything.
Because even when your physical body is not doing a thing, I don't remember who made the quote, but I love it. We're human beings, not human doings.
That's it. And again, the
When you're
farther we,
still, yeah, when you're still, your stillness is actually projecting when you're still and you're thinking and you're like doing your gratitude things, putting love out into the world. When you're doing these things, you're not doing nothing. You're doing pretty much everything because that's all going around and around and around because we live in a closed, you know, our universe is, yeah, there's multiverses and there's all these things going on. But when we put something out there, um, we do it and it's kind of like the pebble in the pond scenario. You
ripple.
do the thing and the ripples just go everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's really to sit in your stillness and put that out there, put your heart out there. That's doing something
Absolutely.
big.
I
Yeah.
think I think the biggest thing at the moment is doing these lovely chats that we're having because I don't know about you, you know, it feels very like, I mean, we've gone through that loneliness. We're meant to go through that loneliness for the reason to come back to our own hearts. And we know we're not on our own, really. But again, it's funny because out of perspective, I see that, it's still nice to have that human physical connectedness does
Mhm.
somewhat. However, I've also felt that lovely connectedness going like that from my etheric body, and I'm getting a nice cuddle etherically, which is
Yeah.
amazing actually.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's I think to be able to have a platform where we can speak our truth and get it out there. And as time goes on, that we all get that confidence. And I guess that's where I'm going with this. This
Mm.
is just about, turnstile McQs. It's about everyone. It's about how we're growing and how we can assist each other in speaking our truth. Us ladies, us men, as well.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. It isn't simply women, it's men, it's everyone. And in fact, I don't even know why I'm saying men and women, because it's not even men and women, it's us souls generally want
Mhm.
to speak our truth. And the only way we're going to get to speak our truth is by having these platforms where we feel uncomfortable but comfortable at the same time, to be able to express our own unique essence and just be it. And once it's done, I mean, as far as we're concerned right now, we're having a conversation between two great friends.
Absolutely.
Realize that is it. And the extension of that is whoever may watch it, if they resonate with it, they're an extension of us.
Yeah.
So the friends, soul,
Yeah.
soul family, soul friends. Who's meant to see it is meant to see it.
One of my favorite things about growing up the way I did is that anybody that enters my heart is my family.
That's it.
My
Yeah,
definition of family is the people who love you back.
that's it. Exactly. And that's the main thing. It's about spreading that love and spreading that joy. Oh, you proper, I can feel your emotion. I can feel your emotion.
Yep. Yep.
Well, thank you very much, Aurora, for coming. And we're probably gonna do some more of these. We'll talk after anyway. And
Absolutely.
for now, I just want to say thank you so much for your grace, for your divine essence. I feel quite emotional actually talking and like doing that. I do feel quite emotional because I love
Sending you hugs.
you. And actually, I've missed you, but we've not missed each other because we've been connected, but missed the talking.
I've missed the vision of you, the
Yes,
seeing
that's
you.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.